What's up, guys? It's McNulty here. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are all doing well. It is a Sunday morning, so welcome to Sunday, the day of rest. As usual, we have a portal that has dropped, and we've got the Untold Tales summon featuring somebody called Hreidmarr, and she looks awesome. I mean, look at this weird-looking granny with all of the, like, she's got a whole freaking building on top of her head. I think it's really cool and funny, and to be fair, she kind of reminds me of the other badass granny that we've got in this game. She who shall not be named. We'll leave her out of it. But yeah, I'm intrigued. I'm definitely intrigued. And she's featured alongside Regen, who's probably one of my favorite heroes of this portal, and then Dagger, who is definitely a close second. Going up against this guy recently, he deals a boatload of damage to everybody. I mean, 1400, it says up to 1400 damage, but it feels like a heck of a lot. So yeah, I really do like both of the other heroes. I'm hoping that I'm going to like this one. So far from this portal, the only slight disappointment was Dulla Fuller, but they rectified her. So I really think that this is a strong portal for us at the moment, guys. So yeah, we're going to get into it right now. We're going to have a look at this hero, Hreidmarr. I'm fingers crossed, toes crossed, she's going to be good. So, of course, she is of the dark element. Okay, that is cool. A lot of people use dark tanks still, but it is kind of getting a bit more saturated. So she is of the dark element. She is of the wizard class, so that gives her a chance to jinx. That just means that when dealing damage through normal attacks and special skills, she gets a 25% chance to deal 25% extra damage per each active buff. She is, of course, of the Nidavellir realm. Now, we still haven't seen any of the Frost heroes, but so far we're working with the Flame. Members of this realm have a molten core, and this core gets charged every time the character receives damage from normal attacks or from special skills. The empowered resistance against burn, so the character has innate resistance against burn and gains 450 boosted health and 5% mana every time they resist. I don't know whether that's stronger, to be fair, than the others. I just want to double check. Yeah, exactly the same. Pardon me. I mean, that's a humongous health gain, to be fair, when they receive burn. Let's move on. So the Molten Core activates every time the character's special skills cast. I'm sure you will have felt the brutality of this by now. But all enemies receive corrosive burn for 3 turns. With a fully charged core, the corrosive burn deals 422 burn damage and lowers the target's defense by 10% every turn. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like every time this goes off on my team, like I end up losing at least one character. Like, it is that strong. I would especially encourage you that if you got the 3 stars and the 4 stars, that you level them just for this effect. I think it's really, really strong. Plus, it deals extra damage against heroes with minions or mega minions as well. And that is just the cherry on the top of the banana split. So yeah, really, really good. Let's move on to stats. In terms of stats, we're running a team power of 1165. So we are staying with 1165 at the moment. I'm very interested to see whether that's going to be a common and recurring theme. I'm very glad that they listened with regards to the Wilderness Summon. Just by the way, for those of you who've been following the channel for a while now, I have been banging on about the Wilderness Portal. And they finally seen fit in yesterday's message to change things in the Wilderness Portal so that they feature those heroes. So that'll be interesting. They have also made some promises, promises tongue-in-cheek regarding balancing out the new releases of heroes. So I strongly hope that that is the case. But yeah, anyways, we're seeing 1165 team power. Hopefully it stays that way. Let's move through these stats. So attack a bit lower, defense 1170, very good, and then health 2237. So she's very, very strong, very balanced right across the board. So doing well so far. Ether talent is counterattack. So for the first 6 turns of the battle, she counterattacks with 60% of the damage received. It's not an undispellable buff, so it's not one of the greatest ether talents. It's okay. It's just kind of a minor annoyance in most cases. And if you need to, you can kind of go for it because it's only 60%. Right. The special skill is the Dwarven King's Levy. So I'm assuming she's like the mage or the grandmother. I've just noticed she's got a beard. Like if if she wasn't looking she-ish, definitely beard dude. Maybe it is a dude. I don't even know. It looks like a she to be with that plait hanging down. Anyways, so she attacks all enemies with Firestorm Strike, dealing up to 2100 damage. That's a lot of damage. You remember we just looked at Dagger a second ago. He was dealing up to 1400 damage to all with Firestorm Strike. So she's dealing at least 700 more damage to all, which is a lot. Deals 40% more damage if the target is of the nature element. So if you're nature, it's pretty much game over. This special skill never misses its target. So you can forget about things like dodge or heroes that heroes that dodge the special skill. You can forget about that. She never misses. Or blind, sorry, was the other one I was thinking of. Growth and wither effect damage scaling. Okay, that's just an explanation of how the base damage works. So it's 1050 base damage, and it scales depending on the attacker's attack and the defender's defense. So max is 2100, minimum's 525, but still really, really strong. And somehow I feel like this damage comes off harder than you think. Now, the caster steals generated mana of all enemies over 4 turns, starting low and increasing every turn until on the last turn, all of the generated mana is stolen. This effect can't be cleansed but gets removed if the caster is defeated. Whew, that's a strong effect. That is a hell effect. It's not the first time we've seen it, but it's super effective. At the end of each turn, steals the latest dispellable buff from all enemies and distributes them randomly amongst allies for 4 turns. Okay. Wow, this granny's good. She's good. Hreidmarr or he, whatever it is good. So first of all, the damage is humongous. 2100 damage is huge. And the extra damage against nature is just an added benefit. The stealing generated mana, that's probably my favorite part of this. We've seen it with heroes that really work well, like hell. Just stealing generated mana is so crippling if you're on the defending team. And so I was going to use the word invigorating, but that's a weird word to use. But like, it's so awesome if you're on the attacking team to be able to get that generated mana and just charge your hero up so much quicker because you're stealing all of the generated mana of all enemies over 4 turns. Doesn't matter whether it starts low and increases, but the fact that it goes up is just an added bonus. So yeah, it's really, really strong. But then on top of that, she gives this effect where she steals the latest dispellable buff from all enemies and distributes them on allies. And that runs for 4 turns. So there's basically, you're making it so that the enemy can't, not only can they not cast buffs, but they also flip it around. So it's kind of somebody like Sparklight will do a similar thing. She's doing that to all of the enemies, and she's doing the mana generation still to all enemies as well. She's stealing buffs, she's stealing mana, and she's dealing a boatload of damage. Man, this hero is good. Okay. Only downside is that she's running at slow speed. Other than that, I think she is a freaking brutal hero, and I would love to get my hands on her. I like the passive with the Molten Core as well, just adding to that damage that she's doing. So yeah, I think that Hreidmarr is going to be pretty strong. And that's all I've got to say on this one for the moment. So please do let me know in the comments what you guys think about this hero, whether you think she's going to be really super duper good, or whether you think that she's maybe not going to be that good. Let me know. Also, I'd be interested to hear what you guys think about Dagger and Region, the other 2 featured heroes. Do drop us a like. If you guys are not subscribed to the channel, then I'd encourage you to please subscribe. It not only helps the channel out, but it also means that you can stay up to date with any future content that's coming out. And I can guarantee there is a lot of works happening behind the scenes. I've been sick for the last couple of days, so sorry if I haven't posted, but there is a lot going on in the background. So I'm excited to share the happenings with you. Hopefully that happens soon. Just as a little tidbit, one of the things that I'm likely to be able to do soon is to be able to give you guys some benefits, courtesy of Small Giant. So, fingers crossed and toes crossed. It has been confirmed by what I believe to be a reliable source, but I have yet to have the goods in hand. So as soon as that does happen, I will be sharing that with you guys, obviously. And also just a reminder as well, we do have memberships on the channel as well. If you feel like you want to support me, that is the best way to do so. And there are some additional perks for that as well. But all of that being said, love you all. Happy Sunday again. Enjoy your day of rest before you get back to work on a Monday. Or if you are working, then I wish you guys all the best. Share it with your mother, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.